she can hear you.
You clean that lab, you get out.
This may very well be the most sensitive asset ever to be housed in this facility.
You may think that thing looks human. Stands on two legs, right? But we're created in the Lord's image. You don't think that's what the Lord looks like, do you?
Hello, welcome to What the Flick. We are deep in awards season. We're in there with the contenders, and the ones that we talked about a lot in multiple categories is one of Alonzo's favorite movies, Shape of Water. I'm Christy, that is Alonzo, and Ben is here. Ben saw Shape of Water as well. So please tell us about the latest from the great Guillermo del Toro.
Yes, so Sally Hawkins plays a mute woman in the 1950s. She works nights cleaning up at a science lab where weird things are happening, and one of the weird things is a man who is also able to live underwater, and Michael Shannon and mean government scientists want to do terrible things to him, but she's in love and wants to liberate him, and it's gorgeous. Take a look.
The natives in the Amazon worshiped it like a god.
Get him out. What are you talking about? No.
We need to take it apart, learn how it works.
I don't want an intricate, beautiful thing destroyed.
We can do nothing. I'm sorry.
Don't do this, Eliza.
What is she saying?
Don't do this.
Oh, God, it's not even human. If I told you about her, what would I say? I wonder.
One of your favorites of the year?
Oh,
Top 10?
no question.
Way high
No
up
question,
there?
top
Yes.
10. This is a multiple quadrant movie. It's a great love story. It's got great performances. It is a wonderful sort of love letter to all kinds of films without being just sort of tiresome pastiche and quote fest. It's stunning. I love this movie.
It's a really good sci-fi movie also.
Also that.
Yeah. This is, like, I know he's a great filmmaker, so I'm not gonna be a jerk and pretend that I'm one of those people. Like, but this movie is more accessible than any of his other movies,
Sure.
at least to me. You know, there seemed to be more story, you know, or a story that was accessible to people who need it slowed down. So I responded to this in a way that I haven't responded to many of Del Toro's other movies, while acknowledging, okay, I get this. This is really beautiful, and this is really quite an accomplishment that he's made this. But I don't feel emotional about it. This I felt emotional.
I'm hot and cold with him. I'm not gonna like die on the hill of Guillermo del Toro, but I think this is his best film for sure.
I am a huge fan. I still love Pan's Labyrinth, and I was moved by Pan's Labyrinth very deeply in a way that you say that maybe his movies don't always achieve.
I love that one too. Yeah.
I was dazzled by Crimson Peak, but again, that's more like production design.
Yes, that dress.
Yeah, but this is deeply moving, and one thing I loved about this is that it's beyond the physical, visual splendor of it. Like, at its core, it's about this scrappy band of outsiders. You know, it's people who are at the fringes of society. You have a deaf character, you have a gay character, you have a black, well, she's mute, sorry, she's mute, and a gay character and a black character, and they come together to do something that would seem impossible, and there's nothing corny or mawkish about that. It just feels true and moving and relevant to this time.
And even Michael Stuhlbarg's character, without giving it away, could be seen as he's an outsider.
Oh, absolutely,
yeah.
And he's so great. He's always great.
Yeah, and so that's the thing, is that you know, where you care, where you can be dazzled by the production design. I'm almost only dazzled as to what the people say to each other, and that can even for me save you know, if there are a couple of great moments in an otherwise sort of pedestrian movie, I'll be like, yeah, that was it. But here they say great things to each other. Right?
You weren't impressed by the fact that Guillermo del Toro found every single shade of green?
I was gonna say he's got a new look green going for this entire movie, like in almost every scene. It's amazing.
Every single shade. Yeah, I don't know how he did what he did with the budget that he had. Right? Because he made it for under $20 million.
Yeah,
and just like the underwater stuff alone, I don't know how they did that with that kind of money.
We have to mention Doug Jones.
Oh yeah.
Who is such an extraordinary I don't know if dancer is the word I want here, but like the way that he uses his body, the way that he interprets. You know, he's been in a lot of Del Toro's work before. He played the guy in Pan's Labyrinth and the Hellboy movies and all this stuff. But I mean, because he's not talking, she's not talking, and they still have this palpable romance that is just gorgeous. And I saw some great tweet where apparently there was already some review complaining about, oh, it's so gross that, she gets involved with this, fish man or whatever. And it's like, yeah, and these centuries that men have talked about mermaids, like what is that about?
It's a metaphor.
Yeah.
I mean, it's about falling in love with somebody totally different from you in the place you would least expect it, who seems other and it seems scary,
Doug Jones is great. He's really great. That is great. I mean, there's an unquestioned King Kong-like quality to their connection, and that's what you mentioned, all the movies that it seems to draw from, and that obviously to me.
Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Right, yeah.
It reminded me of E.T. also, sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, no, definitely.
In that, there's this unexpected connection with a creature and the government's trying to come in and
totally.
disrupt that. Sorry, please go ahead.
No, I just, there was a, I can't remember what I was going to say, but you're going to blame yourself.
I'm so sorry.
I think I'd already lost it.
Is it about Creature from the Black Lagoon?
No.
Is it about Doug Jones?
I want to mention, but I mean, we should also, Sally Hawkins is great, Doug Jones is great, but also Richard Jenkins, Octavia Spencer, Michael Stuhlbarg, of course, always awesome, Michael Shannon. Somebody said, I think maybe we could never see Michael Shannon play this role again and I'd be okay with it, and I hear you. But he's still great.
This is very much in his wheelhouse, and to think that,
I like it whenever Michael Shannon and Michael Stuhlbarg are in the same thing. It's always good. It's always good.
It's always good. They're always great. It's an incredible supporting cast. But what Sally Hawkins has to do wordlessly is really tough. And there are several movies here where you have characters in Wonderstruck, for example, where you have to convey so much emotion without words, and it is mostly entirely wordless.
Yeah.
And she's so expressive and has such a great energy that just radiates from her.
So I think it was at Telluride, because I saw this back then, and I think in the guidebook there it said in an alternate universe of Baltimore in the 1960s, and so. But it's just, I don't know what about it would make it an alternate universe.
Well, the guy who can live underwater, I guess.
I guess,
we're gonna split hairs about it.
Wait, that didn't happen?
I got you, sure. But beyond that, it wasn't like it's not like 1957 and we're controlled by by the government in The Handmaid's Tale. I mean, it's like it was 1957. It's Baltimore. Eisenhower's president. It's just it's every sci-fi movie.
Of course,
is arguably an alternate universe if there's a guy who can survive underwater.
Yeah, exactly. I thought it was rooted in a realism.
I thought for sure.
Alternate. I mean,
right.
The houses and the clothes and the cars and the conversations. The shadowy underground government stuff. It all felt.
Yeah, this is a really good Cold War movie too, if you're into that sort of thing.
Oh, totally. It's a great Cold War movie. And Richard, I know you mentioned him, but Richard Jenkins,
so good.
I mean,
I should mention also the cinematographer is Dan Lawson, who also shot Crimson Peak and also shot John Wick 2. An interesting cross section of stuff there. So
but hard to
incredibly
believe.
Beautiful.
Hard to believe that he won't be nominated.
Yeah, it was just gorgeous. Yeah, he'll have to beat my buddy Roger Deakins.
No, yes, it's a beautiful film to look at, and it is beautiful in all the senses.
Yes. So what is your number, my friend?
I give it a 9.5. It is unquestionably going to be in my top 10 this year.
Okay, 9.2.
Yeah, it'll be in my top 10 too. 9.
Okay, 9.3 from us. It's at 97% on the tomato meter. And is this a New York and LA thing, or is it wide this week? Do we know?
I don't know.
It's going to be in some theaters.
But it's a movie like.
But it'll get to you if it's not near you now. It will be soon.
But the point that Alonzo made in the beginning is the most important one, because it doesn't. There's nothing restricting about this movie. It is open to everyone. It comes at you from 6 different genres. Whatever, if you're grossed out by sci-fi movies that have gross creatures, it doesn't matter. This is a love story.
Yeah.
And if you want a sci-fi, if you want a Cold War thriller aspect to it, it has that. It's got.
There's a musical number. There's everything.
It's got a lot. There's a good bathroom flood. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
But it is rated R.
Yeah.
So it's not for everyone. Not for kids. But I loved it. Bye.